Hey everybody, welcome back. My name's Chris, and this is Daily Reflections with Chris. It's like super early in the morning. It's about 4:30 my time, and I just wanted to. I felt the urge to come on here and share with you on our daily reflections. Right, this is Daily Reflections with Chris. So those who are new to my channel, my name's Chris, and I'm in recovery from alcoholism. And I read out of this book right here. It's called Daily Reflections. That's why I call it Daily Reflections with Chris. Chances are I'm going to change it at some point. Something more easier to say because even I can't say it. But anyway, we'll talk about that in the future. But for today, let's step into our topic. And it's called, today is November the 9th. And the title says, Stepping into the Sunlight. But first of all, we shall want sunlight. Nothing much can grow in the dark. Meditation is our step out into the sun. And that's from As Bill Sees It, page 10. But it also talks a little bit about it in the 12 and 12. Okay, that same book that we read out of yesterday, which is the companion, as I see it. It's the companion to the big book. So you can also read it there. It says, sometimes I think I don't have time for prayer and meditation, forgetting that I always found the time to drink. Oh, it is possible to make time for anything I want to do, if I want it badly enough. When I start the routine of prayer and meditation, it's a good idea to plan to devote a small amount of time to it. I read a page from our fellowship's book in the morning and say, thank you, God, when I go to bed at night. As prayer becomes a habit, I will increase the time spent on it without even noticing it. The foray it makes into my busy day. If I have trouble praying, I just repeat the Lord's Prayer because it really covers everything. Then I think of what I can be grateful for and say a word of thanks. I don't need to shut myself in a closet to pray. It can be done even in a room full of people. I just remove myself mentally for an instant. As the practice of prayer continues, I will find I don't need words, for God can and does hear my thoughts through silence. So this is 11th month where we've been talking a lot about prayer and meditation. And yesterday, the topic was saying that you could, if you look around, there's many ways you can do it. There's different resources that we have. We now have the internet. We can Google something. We can read a book like this for suggestions. We can read our big book, our 12 and 12. We can ask a friend. We can, sometimes just paying attention to the world. Sometimes I realize I can get suggestions from the world as they pass me by. People will be passing by, or I'll see something by chance and I'll say, I suppose it's a pretty neat prayer, or maybe I ought to try that for meditation, right? And even in today's reading, it's given us just a few examples of what we can do. We can just simply say, thank you, God. Whether we don't have to kneel in a room. Many of y'all probably have seen that movie, The War Room, where she has that closet that she goes into. And this was written way before The War Room, so it has nothing to do with that movie. But I do recall that in The War Room, they had a little closet, right? Well, if you don't have one, that's okay. If you'd like to make one, go. I mean, I'm all for it. If you'd like to make one, or doesn't matter if I'm for it, right? If you want to make one, go ahead and make one. But you don't have to. It says here that you could pray anywhere, that you could meditate anywhere. Prayers, just simply conversation with God. And meditation is just connecting with Him through silence. And there's many ways you can do that. Why do we want to do that? I mean, like, man, we're busy. We're busy hustling, making money to pay the bills, making food to feed the family, having fun, going out with our friends, making time for that too. I ain't got time for meditation. I ain't got time for prayer. Pray and meditate for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour. That's crazy. It sounds insane. It sounds like we don't have enough time. It sounded like when I first started, first of all, I didn't know what it was all about. You know, I didn't know what prayer meditation was all about. So I had no clue how was I going to do it, when I was going to do it. And then to make time for it seemed like a chore for me when I first got into recovery, because I had to go to probation, I had to go to this class, I had to go to this meeting, I had to go do this. I still had to go to work, and I didn't have a driver's license, so I had to take the bus everywhere. So to me, making time for it felt like, man, I don't get enough of it, right? So I took some of the suggestions that they said, and they said, well, try 5 minutes. Try five, just don't do nothing for 5 minutes. Just don't do nothing for 10 minutes. Just don't do nothing or think about anything for 10 minutes. Focus on the sound, like the sound of the fan, or the sound of air conditioner, or the sound of the wind. Just focus on that for 5 or 10 minutes, and don't worry about praying or saying anything. Just focus on that. And I started to take these little suggestions, and I couldn't, even if I wanted to, even if I had the time to really do that at first, right? Because I still had a lot of things going through my mind, a lot of thoughts, a lot of worry. But when I realized that, you know, just like I used to drink to go into oblivion, I used to drink to not feel the pain. I used to drink to get away from the problems. I used to drink. At first, I used to drink to have fun, and then I realized, ooh, when I drink, I don't feel anything. Ooh, when I drink, I can get dumb and blame it on the booze. When I drink, oh man, all my worries go away. Well, that worked for a very short time for me, and then really the tables turned, and when alcoholism, as I know it, started to take its toll on me, it really started to become it was more than just a bad habit. It was just more than a weekend thing. It was an everyday thing that I had to do. I mean, I was chained up to this thing called alcoholism so hard and so bad that it was the only thing I could think of. It was the only thing I wanted to do. And I would spend all my time, money, efforts into trying to get drunk. Well, now that I've, only by the grace of God, that I've changed that to, I spent all my, most of my time and efforts and everything to my recovery. And I want to say all my time, because in some way I'm working on my recovery, even if I'm with family, even if I'm on the beach having fun, whatever it is I'm doing, I'm working on towards my recovery in some way. So this prayer and meditation, what I realized, it started to give me the same feeling of checking out for 5 minutes and just focusing on one thing. This feeling of, like coming out of meditation, I felt like less worried, more at peace, more happy. There's something to be said about meditation and prayer. Oh man, prayer, just being able to get in connection. It's like talking on the phone to your favorite person. Just that one person, like you can't wait to talk to them. Or when you do talk to them, it just feels a certain way. That's how my relationship evolved with my higher power, who I choose to call God, and through prayer, right? Through putting in that time, to putting in the energy, to making the effort of building a relationship with my higher power, I'm able to connect with him more often. And now I love what it says here. I will find I don't need words, for God can and does hear my thoughts through silence. As the practice of prayer continues, as I practice it, as I continue it, it evolves, right? It evolves to that I could be in pain and God can feel it. That I could want something. I could just think of wanting something and it'll appear in my life where I say, oh man, I just think like, oh, pizza sounds good. And somebody will show up with a pizza. Either a friend, or there'll be some leftovers at work or something. It'll show up in my life. Either a slice of pizza or a whole pizza party, right? I never know. But what I do know is that it's gonna get taken care of. It's something that has brought me out of the dark and into the sunlight. It's something that has brought me from hopelessness to hope, from wanting to having, from needing to not needing, from worry to peace, it's such an amazing experience. It's almost a little hard to describe. All I can say is that it works. That's all I can say. And encourage you to at least try it. I looked into one that I'll talk about, because, as I read this, as I share with you, I also turn it inward and ask myself, Chris, when was the last time you meditate? Chris, have you been meditating? Chris, have you been praying? And I can always tell when I'm not praying or meditating, because my life gets a little strange. Or actually, it doesn't get strange. As I see it become, my perception gets strange when I'm not praying or meditating right now. Things as I see it seem horrible, even when they're not. So I've been trying different things. There's a lot of stuff that I've looked into, I've read into. Some stuff is really bold, some stuff is a little more gentle. And yesterday, I heard about the Silva meditation practice, and I'm not saying you should do it. I'm just saying this is what I tried. As a form of meditation. Try it if you want. Man, it can't hurt you, right? At least you'll know not that one if you don't like it. But it was kind of neat. I kind of liked it. Like, it's something that I'm going to try again today before bed. But this meditation, it just like really took me to like a really deep level of my inner self, deep within. And I didn't see anything crazy. I didn't see no funny faces, or I didn't feel some certain emotion. All I did was feel the stillness of just not doing nothing for 20 minutes. And it's very popular. First I looked into it, then I tried it. And it's pretty neat. I would like to see the outcome of this. So I in order to do that for meditation, it's something you have to do every day or on a daily, routinely for the outcome. It's like our medication, right? That's funny. They kind of sound the same. It's meditation or medication. So I choose meditation. I've never been one to like medications. So it's like a medication, right? If you're taking a medication for anything, it usually takes about 14 days to kick in, right? Especially if it's like a medication for the brain or for the mind or for our stillness. It usually takes about 14 days for our body to kind of let it kick in, right? For the real results to show. And meditation can sometimes be like that. For me, I have had experience where meditation took like effect that day, that moment. Like, I came out from it like, whoa, you're not gonna guess what just happened. Did I have that experience with this? Not quite, not yet. I don't know. I'll see the results throughout the day, but I want to give it a shot. So I'm sorry. Excuse me, my dogs are barking. It's early, but they don't know that. I'm gonna tell them when I get off of here. I'm gonna tell them how early it is. But folks, I just wanted to come on here and just encourage you that it's okay to pray and meditate. As a matter of fact, it's suggested in this program of recovery. Or even if you're not in recovery, maybe you just you don't drink, but something doesn't feel right, or something's not off, or you find yourself just kind of angrier than most people, or upset than most people, or uptight than most people. That's me, man. Before I came into recovery, I was that person. I was just a little wound up too tight. So I could have used probably something like this before I started, probably could have used something like this early on in life, but I didn't know about it, and nobody that I knew about it. So anyway, I'm going to share this with you. So if you're that person, you're not alcoholic, you just drink once in a while, but you feel yourself a little off the edge sometimes, or like a chip on your shoulder, I would suggest try prayer and meditation. And look it up. There's tons of them. There's one that's going to work for you. There's probably one. And it says here in the big book that there's probably a form of meditation for every person out there who's meditating. There's a personalized version of prayer and meditation. But I will say that you have to build it. You have to build it for yourself. There's not one personalized out there for me. There's nobody out there. Well, there are people doing videos, YouTube videos, different subjects, a little the same, but a little bit different. There's tons of videos on recovery from all different angles. So this one is specifically one that I felt that I wanted to do for a very long time. So I'm grateful. It's not very popular right now, but maybe one day will be, and that's okay. I'm not in a hurry to get popular. But I would like to help somebody. So if I helped you today, I want to say thank you for giving me the opportunity. Thank you for tuning in. Share this with your friends. Share this with people. Maybe you know somebody who could use this. A little bit of encouragement today to try something different. I want to encourage you, try something different. Try prayer meditation. It takes a really small time. If you don't got 15 minutes in your time right now, I say try it. Try it while you're on the potty. Instead of getting on your phone, checking your Facebook while you're in the restroom, just sit quiet. Just sit there quietly. Don't think about nothing. Maybe you're on the bus. Do it while you're on the bus. Do it while you're at the bus stop. Maybe you're on your break from work. I've done it on my breaks from work. There's many ways you can do it, folks. I encourage you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I got to clock in now for my job. I think I might be late. Hopefully I didn't lose any opportunities. But thank you for tuning in. I love you all, and I'll see you again. Bye.